Let's do this manicure together. First, we'll need to completely remove the old coating because we're going to do clear nails. And we'll have to remove the gel entirely right down to the natural nail. By the way, you can check out how we did this design on my channel. I'm using a carbide bit with a green band to quickly remove the bulk of the material, and I'll be removing it down to a very thin layer of the old coating. Removing it completely is something I won't do here, and I don't recommend removing artificial coating entirely because there's a high risk of overfiling the nail plate. Take a look at the starting point we have here. I've completely removed the length and coating. There are some small cracks we'll be reinforcing. I'll be doing a combined manicure, and at this stage I need to lift the cuticle well and push it back to remove any adhesions. Otherwise, when I'm using the bits, I might damage the client's cuticle and cause overfiling or skin injuries. I'm using a red banded bit, carefully cleaning all the pterygium off the nail plate and treating the nail sinus. Next, I move on to the lateral sinuses to remove all the calloused skin from the sides. I repeat all the movements to the left on one hand first, then do the same on the other. Then I switch the rotation and start working with the same movements to the right, ensuring safe bit operation, maintaining the correct angle and position relative to the skin and nail plate to avoid overfiling the nail and to avoid damaging or cutting the skin. I want to point out that in a combined manicure, I always lift the cuticle before nipping to separate the live skin from the dead so I can give the client a clean cut without causing any nicks or redness. This method helps me handle even unfamiliar skin where I might worry, as sometimes capillaries are close or the cuticle is very thin and sensitive. By lifting the cuticle, I can see exactly where I can trim the skin and where I should stop. Now I'm going to trim the cuticle that I've just lifted up. And as you can see, there's a clear line of white skin here, which is exactly where I'll be cutting. This way, I won't accidentally cut the client. It won't be painful or even sensitive for them, and afterwards they won't have any redness or skin inflammation at all. After trimming the cuticle, I'll apply a base layer to prepare for the extensions. I apply this soft base to all the nails, carefully coating near the cuticle and the side walls so that my hard gel material adheres well to the nail plate without any chipping or lifting. I'm not going to rush this stage. I'll take my time to thoroughly coat each of the client's fingers. My client wanted a stained glass pink gel, which I didn't have in my palette, so I'll mix it myself. I'll add a bit of neon to a clear gel, which will give me that translucent stained glass effect. I'll be doing the extensions using dual forms. I coated the sides of the dual form, cured it, and then I'll apply a good layer of gel over the whole thing to create the impression. Without curing the gel yet, I bring it to the nail and flash cure it with a lamp so the gel partially sets on the nail plate, allowing me to tidy it up from the underside. I flip the client's hand over and check that the coating is even and the gel is well distributed. Then I put it in the lamp, remove the dual form, and admire the final result. I do these extensions on all 10 fingers and then I move on to the design. I'll show you how I create a three-dimensional design on the ring finger. I'm using a medium consistency gel, thick enough so that it doesn't run anywhere. And I draw these wavy lines, flash curing them as I go so they keep their shape. I'll cure this design and then add a second layer so that it gains the maximum possible volume. On the index finger, I'll do a design with acrylic powder. So I mixed pink gel polish with my gel so that it becomes a little bit thicker and more voluminous. And in the same way, I use it to draw lines of different thicknesses and shapes so that my design looks as impressive as possible. After I've drawn everything, I don't dry it, and I apply powder onto my wet gel polish. And on the middle finger, I'm going to apply a rub-in powder. Here, I'll have a completely different design. I'll seal the rub-in with a top coat, and then I'll draw again voluminous waves and voluminous lines on the nail plate, just like on the ring finger. I'll flash cure them with a lamp and add a second layer for more volume. And now let me show you the final result. Pay attention to the pinky finger. It turned out fluffy. I did it using flocking powder. We did the index finger with acrylic powder and the ring and middle fingers with a 3D gel design. And look here at how the nails look in real life in the sunlight. It's a very impressive and cool design. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to my channel to get even more masterclasses and like this video so you don't lose it.